Welcome to another CEO Wisdom Pod with Deryck Richardson II. With us today, we're going to talk about lead gen agencies, everything in between. Deryck is co-owner and partner at In the Black. He's also president and CEO at Richardson Marketing Group and partner chief operating officer at Freedom Direct. We're going to talk about lead gen for insurance agents, probably realtors and a bunch of these folks, financial advisors. I also had experience working with these guys back in the days. So let's see. Podbuyer.com is sponsoring this podcast. That's my podcasting agency if you want to start your own pod and talking about leads that can be used for a lead gen funnel. Podcasting are amazing for that. You can learn, can connect with amazing people. And yeah, the difference with that agency is that I'm obsessed with monetizing podcasting, while most folks just start a podcast to be on the radio, there must be a better purpose than that. That's why 90% of people, they start a pod, they never scale it. So podbuyer.com if you want help with that. Deryck, welcome to the pod. Can you tell us about a bit more about yourself and a bit more about your businesses?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. So, Deryck Richardson, I am a serial entrepreneur, author, speaker, and just a businessman in general, right? So, you talked about a couple of my businesses. I would say the granddaddy of them all is Richardson Marketing Group. We do specialize in leads. So we're a marketing firm specifically designed to help with customer acquisition efforts of insurance agents. And then we have also dabbled in solar also. So if you're a solar rep or solar company, we have leads for the solar industry as well. Freedom Direct is an insurance agency. So if you have leads for insurance agents, you might as well use them and start an insurance agency. And so we did. So both Freedom Direct and Richardson Marketing Group operate out of this building here in Columbus, Ohio. And so on top of that, man, I do some promotions with a company called In the Black. And just all around business, man. I love looking at new opportunities, seeing how I can help people grow, help entrepreneurs grow. I mean, this game is tough, as you probably know, and the more mentors that we have, the easier it can be at times. So I like to give back as well.
How do you split your time nowadays in between your businesses?
My calendar is my best friend, my man. It's my best friend. So we prioritize money. So how, is this a money-making opportunity? That's going to be number one. So am I on a sales call? Is it a high level, national account type of call that I need to take versus my staff? Is it cutting a deal for the future, right? If so, that takes priority. Second is growth. Is this a growing opportunity? Is this a way to add more products or services or add more people to the team? Is it growth? And then third, is this something that literally is going to help our business in any other way? And if so, then those are the top three things that I prioritize. Doesn't matter the business. It just matters, are we making money? Are we growing? Or does it help the business?
Right. How do you target your new clients?
For Richardson Marketing Group, we use some Facebook. We use a little bit of email marketing, but we are inside sales reps, man. We're cold calling. So I have a team of people cold calling insurance agents saying, hey, what are you doing for leads? Right? We have an alternative. Here's how we can help. And with Freedom Direct, we are certainly using leads. So we are buying leads. We are a client of Richardson Marketing Group, and we also buy other leads outside of Richardson Marketing Group. And so we are looking for people who have expressed an interest in insurance, and my agents are calling on those prospects or those leads. And within the back, it's a little different. In the Black is more handshaking and networking and playing golf and stuff like that.
Tell me about In the Black.
So we're a platform or an app. We're essentially the old school coupon book that you used when you were fundraising. And the idea is that the businesses don't pay. So we make our money by subscriptions to the app from the consumer, who now have exclusive access to coupons in the business. So it helps the business with free marketing, and then it also helps get their name out there to others here in Columbus. So we're just in Columbus right now.
Right. And I'm on your website here. I see the pricing. So can you explain, for example, the aged insurance leads? What's your business model there? Where you get those leads, and how the heck can you make money on $250 a month?
Yeah, man. So aged internet leads are really our bread and butter. I mean, we have some other products, but aged internet leads are fantastic if either A, you don't have a lot of money and you're starting as an independent insurance agent, or B, if you are hiring new staff. As you know, leads can cost 20, 25, $50 sometimes. And if you have new staff and you want them to be told no, it's easier to be told no on a lead that costs less than $1 than it is to be told no on a lead that costs $25. So what we do is we go to what's called the affiliate marketplace. It's essentially a hub of publishers or people who are generating real-time internet leads. So most people are familiar with real-time internet leads, but if you're not, somebody has filled out some sort of landing page, whether it be on Facebook or just a website. They've put in their information, what type of insurance they're looking for. That information is then delivered in real time to the agent that has subscribed to that service. It's a real-time internet lead. Well, those leads are sold 3 to 5 times when they're born, when they're generated, right? It's a shared market out there. And we go to those publishers and say, hey, let me have your old stuff. So it's just business 101. We buy it low, we sell it high. But we are able to sell packages for as low as $250 a month. That is an ascending package. So for $250, you're going to get on month 1, 300 leads that are 0 to 60 days old. So somebody was looking for insurance within the last 60 days. They may have been helped. They may have been told the guy no, may have been bad time. Maybe they didn't get anybody on the phone. Maybe the information's bad, right? Because it's an internet lead, so they're putting in fake information because they don't want to be contacted. But you have 300 at bats for $250. The next month you pay the same $250, but you get 400 leads. The next month you pay $250, but you get 500 leads. And so that grows all the way until you're paying $250 for 1,000 leads. That's where it caps out at. And so your cost per lead is 25 cents at that point. Very, very hard not to find a few diamonds in the rough when you're going through, a list of people who were looking for insurance less than 60 days ago.
Right. And you buy these lists at what, like a cent a contact or what?
It depends on the publisher. It really depends, but anywhere between, not a cent, but I would say anywhere between 5 and 15 cents is what we buy it at.
Okay. So if we do some quick math here, right? So for 300 leads, let's say you would pay probably around $30 and you resell it at 250, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Cold calls, do they still work? Don't people have like phone spam filters? I have that on my iPhone, pretty much blocks everything.
Yeah, but you're not going to block us because we're a business, right? So we're not just calling off of our cell phones, so our business is registered. We're Google certified. I mean, we're a business, right? So when your phone rings, it's going to say Richardson Marketing Group. Plus, we're calling business people. We're calling insurance agencies. Most business people answer their phone because it could be money on the line, right? So we're calling established agencies. And a farmer's agent, for instance, has a desk phone, old school. He has an office, a receptionist that answers the phone. Farmers Insurance, how can I help you? Right. So we are able to get a lot of contacts using the cold call method with business to business, because businesses answer their cell phone or answer their phone. Businesses answer their phone. And then to really maximize inside sales, you got to be good at a couple points of the phone call. The first one is the gatekeeper. If you can't get through a gatekeeper, then you'll never get to a decision maker. You'll never get to the person who has the name on the building, right? And that's the person who's going to make the purchase. So you got to be good at a gatekeeper. You got to be good at an intro. You got to be good at a discovery, and you got to make sure you can get into a conversation professionally and get right to the point so that you're not wasting your time. But cold calling certainly still works, specifically in business to business, and we do it all day long.
Yeah, I mean B2C though, for these agents that you sell them leads to, like, isn't it? I mean, it's good practice, good training, it's good torture. That's how I started my career. But does that still work?
Yeah, it absolutely works. But you're right, so if it's a newer agent so same thing applies for a farmer's agency who's buying these leads for, a new agent, right? Their phone is going to say Farmers Insurance when they call these people, right? But you're right, we are also selling it to somebody who just got their insurance license and maybe they got a few appointments to sell part-time, to get into the business, and they're working out of their basement. And so they would need to get some technology that would not block their number. And so there's a lot of dialers out there that we recommend. Ringy is a good one. And you'll want to load your leads into a dialer so that, number one, the technology is not going to, spam your number. But number two, you have some sort of CRM to where you're tracking what's happening with so many lists. I mean, $250 is our lowest package. Our average package is going to be $1,500, where somebody's getting 6,000 leads in a month. So, to work 6,000 leads, you need to make sure that you're keeping track of those leads and pounding the phones. And so you certainly want some sort of dialer to help you out with that. And most of them now have the technology that's not going to call you spam.
Where do you have how big is your team of callers? Because I think you also rent out spaces. So tell me about your business, and is it in the US or is it like external call centers?
So anybody who is calling on any of our campaigns are going to be in America. We don't rent out any space here. We own the office, and the office either is for Freedom Direct or it's for Richardson Marketing Group. And so we have 10 on the RMG side, and then we also have another probably 8 insurance agents here that are calling as well. And then we also have insurance agents that are independent that work from home, but everybody would be in America. Now, we have another product with Richardson Marketing Group, and that is a live transfer. Some people say, hey, Deryck, yeah, it sounds good to have 6,000 leads, but I don't have the time to go through all those leads, right? If I'm only looking for a 1% close rate, sure, your cost per acquisition is awesome. Sure, your return on investment is awesome. If I were to get spend $1,500 and get 60 policies, I'd love that. But I got to go through 5,900 that are going to tell me no. And so instead, we have a product where we will take a list, same age data. We will send that to a call center that I partner with overseas. And then those overseas people will work the leads for you. When they get somebody hot on the phone, they'll transfer it directly to your phone. We call that a live transfer. Those call centers that I partner with are in 3 different countries. We have a call center in the Philippines, a call center in Belize, and then 2 call centers in Pakistan.
I remember, one of my first businesses was a call center and had probably 100 plus agents, and we had to shut that one down because people were just tired of that, but nowadays we're seeing innovations like AI callers, which is really freaking exciting. You can just imagine, the perfect person on the other side with no human ups and downs, and always saying the right thing to the customer, because it would have their data and it would adapt its psychometrics, its tone, its words, its etymology. What words does it say on the phone? How does it say them? And without being creepy. So we've seen Google Duplex. I was like 2 or 3 years ago. We've seen AIs nowadays doing it pretty well. Where do you think this is going, and when are we going to have this AI caller without the need of humans that will hit home runs pretty much almost every call?
Well, first we got to get through some FCC regulations. Right now, there's a gray area when it comes to AI. It's a super gray area when it comes to the legalities of using those type of machines to make the phone calls. And so the first step is to make sure that we are doing things legally. There's a lot of rules around the phone, TCPA, Telephone Consumer Privacy Act, do not call, right? So we have to make sure that we're doing things legally. As of now, it's a gray area. But to your point, I think that once we can get past that step and we can make sure that AI is something that is legal and something that is done correctly, I think it's a game changer. There are bots now that are calling, and again, why I say it's a gray area is because the interpretation of the law on one hand says it's illegal, and on the other hand says it isn't, right? So there's differences of opinions with lawyers right now and judges right now. But I think that it's going to be awesome if we can get this thing worked out all the way. I think we're a couple years away from that, but I think that it would be fantastic, specifically because as we're waiting for the legals to get worked out, AI is getting better. So before, it sounded pretty robotic, and there's a pause and a beep and all that kind of stuff in between questions. But nowadays, I mean, they got technology that thing sounds like a real conversation. And so, in another 2 years, how dynamic will those callers be? So I'm excited for it.
Agree with that. Lots of innovation there, and I'm a strong believer in multi-touch sequences, whether that's call and an email or a call and a physical letter, for example, and so forth. You're specialized in a couple of niches here. Which one is the most profitable to you? You have solar, you have age insurance leads, business finance, and so forth. Which one's the most attractive there?
The most profitable for us all day long is going to be aged insurance leads.
Why the other experiments, if it's that profitable? You're just seeing if it can be more profitable, or is it complementary?
Yeah, I mean, we want to grow every year as a business. A couple of awards that we're very proud of is to be a two-time Fast 50 recipient, which means we're one of the 50 fastest growing companies in the state of Ohio, privately held companies, including number 6 2 years ago. So that's a big accomplishment for us. We want to make sure that we're continuously growing, and you want to make sure that you have different eggs in the basket, right? You got to make sure that there's what happens if the insurance industry falls out? What happens if captive insurance companies like Allstate, State Farm, or Farmer say, hey, we don't want you guys using age leads anymore. You can't just go out of business. You have to have alternatives. And so, we're always looking to diversify how we make our money. It's the same thing as an individual with multiple streams of income. We want to be a business, really an entity with multiple streams of income as well.
Interesting. On the back end of that, how do you make sure to retain these clients?
So that's a great question, because that's always hard, is client retention, specifically when you're dealing with age data and you're really targeting new people. So you're either talking to a new agency that just opened up and saying, hey, I know you don't have thousands of dollars to put towards a marketing campaign, try something like us. Or you're going to an agency that's hiring new people and they're in a growth stage, and you're saying, instead of spending $1,000 in marketing for your new people, try something like us. And so we do have agents that graduate out of a program like Age Data. I mean, if you're a multi-million-dollar insurance agency, you're not pounding the phones calling Age Data. You're spending money on inbound calls or live transfers, or any other types of marketing. You can do trade shows, all types of things that cost more money per acquisition. And so we are always faced with agents who graduate out of our program. Our program works for them. It's the training wheels for them. And then they're on to something new. It's one of the reasons why we started to include live transfers in our product offerings, because we saw agents that were leaving the age data arena and going into other companies that offered live transfers. So if they're going to do that, why not jump into that business and try to retain those clients? Plus, not to mention, age data can be frustrating, man. You're calling, again, we boast a 1 to 2% success rate, right? So, for every 1,000 leads, you're getting 10 or 20 clients, which is great, but you got to go through a lot of no's to get to those yeses. And that can be frustrating. That can be time consuming. Of course, time is money if you're an individual solopreneur. And so sometimes people want to spend more money, even if they don't have it, for something that's a little more hot and warm. And so they kind of, switch off of our program. So client retention is huge. That's why we have a sales team that's continuously bringing in new people into the pipeline. You can't cut off new sales. You just have to have new sales, and also try to retain your people so they don't go out the back door.
On a personal level, I see Director of Basketball Operation, Hillard, Optimist Club Youth Sports. What is dear to your heart, and how are you helping your community?
Sure. So I'm actually the president of the Hilliard Optimist Club, but I also run the basketball program. I am a teacher by trade. And so when I first started off in my career, over 25 years ago, I was a teacher. I didn't make a lot of money, and I had a lot of kids that ate a lot of food. So it's one of those things where I was like, this isn't going to work for a career, because I'm just not making a lot of money. I always felt sort of guilty for leaving the kids to go make money. I felt that was kind of selfish to do. And so I've always tried to volunteer my time back into the community, specifically through youth sports. And so I started as the director of basketball operations. We run basketball for our entire city of Hilliard. We'll deal with about 750 kids. We're a suburb of Columbus. We'll deal with about 750 kids this year. But then again, I also run the entire program. So we do not only basketball, but football, lacrosse, volleyball, cheer, essay, and oratorical contest as well.
It's pretty cool. Well, thank you for that. And where can people find out more about you, Deryck?
Yeah, man. So Facebook, Deryck Richardson. Instagram, Deryck Richardson. I'm DERYCK. RichardsonMarketingGroup.net. If you're an insurance agent or a solar professional looking for some leads, feel free to give me a call. And then obviously my email, I'll give it to you guys, deryck@richardsonmarketinggroup.net. It's the best way to get a hold of me. I'm checking my email 24/7. So, it's hard to sleep when you got so much going on, man.
There you go. I'm Charles Cormier, founder of founderwisdompodcast.com and CEO wisdompodcast.com. That was Deryck Richardson.